This is amazing. I love the internet.
In Springfield, they're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. Eat the cat. Eat the cat. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. Eat the cat. Eat the cat. They're eating the cats. They're eating the dogs. Eat the cat. Eat the cat. Eat the cat. Eat the cat.
Seeing red, so don't push me. Ain't Donald Trump trying to grab him by the... Said it was some Haitians somewhere out in Springfield. Women doing cartwheels.
Have you seen Garfield?
What is that?
I gotta tell them if they even put the fingernail on Santa's little helper to turn them to hamburger helper. Somebody better help them, cause I'm going to jail for showing them fellas helter skelter. Usually I'm content, but if you touch my dog, then I'm turning into John Wick. I'm lit. Bird better drop it. If you touch my pet, then I'm pulling up like CrossFit.
You got geese dancing. You got cats dancing. You got Trump dancing. What is happening?
Welcome, everyone, here to Live Now from Fox. I'm your host, Mike Page. Always great to be with you. We have been covering extensively the first Trump attempted assassination. I know it's hard to believe now that we have to say the first one, given everything that has happened the last couple of days out in Florida. But we want to center back in Butler, Pennsylvania, to talk about the big whistleblower report that was released by Senator Josh Hawley, a Republican out of Missouri. He released a 22-page whistleblower report from Secret Service members that have become whistleblowers, and wanted to talk to him and his office about what happened, what really happened in Butler, Pennsylvania. We have all 22 pages right here, and I will be reading all 22 pages out right here on Live Now from Fox. Only one to do it on YouTube. You will only see it right here. So let's get right into it. I'm going to read the full 22 pages, and we will talk a little bit about it right here on Live Now from Fox. So it is called Whistleblower Report: Failures of the United States Secret Service in connection with the attempted assassination of former President Donald J. Trump. Report from the office of Josh Hawley, U.S. Senator for Missouri, Committee on Homeland Security and Governmental Affairs. This is the executive summary. On July 13th, 2024, former President Donald J. Trump was nearly killed by an assassin's bullet while hosting a rally in Butler, Pennsylvania, and the U.S. Secret Service failed to prevent it. It was the most stunning breakdown in presidential security since the assassination of President John F. Kennedy and attempted assassination of President Ronald Reagan. Following this catastrophic failure, the Secret Service, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, and Department of Homeland Security have all tried to evade real accountability. These agencies and their leaders have slow-walked congressional investigations, misled the American people, and shirked responsibility. In response, Senator Hawley personally visited the Butler, Pennsylvania rally site to interview whistleblowers, open up a whistleblower tip line, and encourage those with relevant information to tell their stories. Since then, many individuals have come forward with information regarding the events of July 13th from the Secret Service, DHS, and local law enforcement, as well as private citizens. The resulting findings are highly damaging to the credibility of the Secret Service and DHS. They reveal a compounding pattern of negligence, sloppiness, and gross incompetence that goes back years, all of which culminated in an assassination attempt that came inches from succeeding. Chief among them are the Secret Service's Counter-Surveillance Division, which performs threat assessments of event sites, did not perform a typical evaluation of the Butler site and was not present on the day of the rally. Secret Service personnel declined multiple offers from a local law enforcement partner to deploy drone technology, despite the fact that the would-be assassin used a drone himself to survey the rally site mere hours before the attempted assassination. The Secret Service Office of Protective Operations Manpower told agents in charge of security for the Butler rally not to request additional security resources because they would be denied. On July 13th, law enforcement personnel abandoned the rooftop of American Glass Research, Building 6, the roof which Thomas Crooks attempted to assassinate the former president because of hot weather. The Secret Service lead site agent on July 13th, the agent with specific responsibility for the security of the rally site, including line of sight concerns, was known to be incompetent. The incompetence led to the placement of items like flags around the Butler stage and catwalk, impairing visibility. Supplementary Department of Homeland Security personnel were used to fill in shortages of Secret Service personnel on July 13th. Some DHS agents were pulled off child exploitation cases for this purpose, and the training they received was merely a poor quality 2-hour webinar. These findings, which were published by Senator Hawley in a series of letters to executive branch officials, have been cited by members of Congress and news outlets and have enhanced the public's understanding of what transpired on July 13th in Butler. In multiple cases, executive branch agencies have confirmed or corroborated whistleblower testimony. The findings have highlighted the need for swift and aggressive oversight action by the president and both houses of Congress. Executive branch agencies so far have denied any of these allegations. What is more, on July 30th, Senator Hawley directly questioned Acting Director Rowe about whistleblower allegations in a hearing jointly held by the Senate Homeland Security and Governmental Affairs Committee and Senate Judiciary Committee. In addition, Senator Hawley is revealing several new findings from whistleblowers that have not yet been reported, including the lead agent responsible for the entire Butler visit, including the rally, failed a key examination during their federal law enforcement training to become a Secret Service agent. Secret Service intelligence units, teams of Secret Service agents paired with state and local law enforcement to handle reports of suspicious persons were absent from the Butler rally. The hospital site where former President Trump received treatment after the shooting was poorly secured, and the hospital site agent could not answer basic questions about site security. To date, Secret Service and DHS have provided virtually no answers, and there remain many questions outstanding, including who within the Secret Service or DHS made the decision to deny counter sniper coverage to the rooftop from which Thomas Crooks shot former President Trump on July 13th. When will Secret Service or DHS publicly name the lead site agent for the rally and the lead agent for the Butler visit? Did the acting Secret Service director ever deny resources to the Trump campaign or USSS counter sniper teams, as has been reported in the press? Senator Hawley has consistently demanded accountability, calling on former Secret Service Director Kimberly Cheadle to resign and demanding that Acting Director Rowe terminate those responsible for the security failures, and will continue to do so in the months to come. He has also written letters to Secretary of Homeland Security Mayorkas and called on the DHS Inspector General to investigate this department's failures. Let's continue to talk about this. Here is the background on this whistleblower report. On July 13th, 2024, Thomas Matthew Crooks took up a shooting position on the top of American Glass Research, Building 6 in Butler, Pennsylvania. The building had a direct line of sight to former President Donald J. Trump as he addressed a large crowd of supporters at the Butler Farm Show grounds. From roughly 400 feet away, Crooks fired 8 rounds from his AR-15 style rifle. President Trump was struck by gunfire and immediately evacuated for medical treatment at Butler Memorial Hospital, but not before pausing to reassure the crowd that he was still alive. Crook's bullets also took the life of Corey Compatore, who was shot in the head while shielding his family. 2 others were shot and critically injured. Congress created the U.S. Secret Service with the mission to protect the president, vice president, former presidents, and other important government officials. In fiscal year 2023, Congress appropriated roughly $3 billion to the Secret Service. Yet despite these vast resources, the Secret Service failed to protect former President Trump from a 20-year-old would-be assassin who appears to have single-handedly outwitted the world's most famous protective service. This level of incompetence demands an explanation. Senator Josh Hawley is a member of the Senate Homeland Security and Governmental Affairs Committee and Senate Judiciary Committee, which share jurisdiction over the Secret Service. He is the only Republican senator who serves on both committees. On July 13th, the same day as the attempted assassination, Senator Hawley called on HSGAC to conduct a full investigation into the events on that day. On July 14th, Senator Hawley formally wrote to the HSGAC chairman calling for a committee investigation, and on July 15th joined other Republican senators calling on SJC Chairman Durbin to do the same. Let's now show you and talk about the timeline of events on that horrible day. In the morning, Crooks takes his father's AR-15 rifle, buys 50 rounds of ammunition, and later drives to the rally. At 4:26 p.m., local counter sniper texts colleagues about someone who snuck in and parked by our cars. 5:06 p.m., Crooks videotaped outside secured perimeter by members of public. 5:10 p.m., state or local law enforcement identified Crooks as a suspicious person. 5:32 p.m., state or local law enforcement observed Crooks browsing news on his cell phone and in possession of a rangefinder. 5:38 p.m., photos of Crooks shared in law enforcement group chat. State or local law enforcement discussed Crooks with a rangefinder, saying, "I did see him with a rangefinder looking towards stage. For your information, if you want to notify Secret Service snipers to look out, I lost sight of him." 5:46 p.m., local law enforcement notifies Secret Service counter snipers via text that there was a suspicious person. 5:51, local law enforcement notifies Secret Service that Crooks was observed with a rangefinder. 6:02, Crooks is observed between the American Glass Research Building. 6:03, former President Trump takes the stage. 6:08, state or local law enforcement observes Crooks on the AGR building. 6:10, Butler Township police officer attempts to climb the roof, hoisted by another officer. Crooks aims a rifle. Officer release grips and falls 8 feet, injuring his ankle. Secret Service says they were aware locals were, quote, working on the issue. And 6:11 p.m., approximately 24 seconds later, Crooks begin firing his AR-15 style rifle. FBI assesses he fired 8 rounds total. So again, let's talk a little bit more about the whistleblower allegations here on page 6 of Senator Hawley's full report. Since July 13th, many credible whistleblowers have approached Senator Hawley with pertinent information. Senator Hawley has published these allegations in a series of letters addressed to the Department of Homeland Security Secretary and USSS Acting Director Ronald Rowe. This section details the various allegations reported to Senator Hawley and the responses from executive branch agencies or lack thereof. On July 19th, 2024, Senator Hawley wrote a letter to the Secretary Mayorkas regarding credible allegations from a whistleblower with direct knowledge of the Butler event. These allegations include the whistleblower saying that the July 13th rally was considered to be a loose security event. Specifically, they allege the following: detection canines were not deployed to monitor entry and detect threats in the usual manner for outdoor rallies. Individuals without proper designations were able to gain access to backstage areas. DHS personnel failed to properly police the 5-foot security buffer near the stage and allowed people to move barricades around the buffer. DHS personnel were not stationed at regular intervals around the security perimeter. The whistleblower further alleged that the majority of DHS personnel working the rally were agents with the department's Homeland Security Investigations Team, or HSI. They alleged that the HSI agents were unfamiliar with standard security protocols used at campaign events. Information requested and response. In his July 19th letter, Senator Hawley requested the following information. How did DHS determine to staff the event, including any decision to rely on state or local officers? What percentage of the DHS agents at the event were from HSI rather than USSS? Were a majority of officers at the event drawn from HSI or other DHS components rather than USSS? If so, why? Were HSI agents properly trained in staffing these types of events? Did gaps exist in the security perimeter, and were the usual protocols followed for the use of canines and magnetometers? Were agents not appropriately stationed around the podium? Were the standard protocols followed for issuing designated pins in vetted personnel that are allowed backstage? How long did agents physically spend on the ground surveying the site before the event? Did any paperwork obligations prevent a longer and more robust site survey? DHS has thus far failed to provide responsive answers to Senator Hawley's request. Another allegation, law enforcement abandoned the roof because it was too hot. On July 22nd, 2024, Senator Hawley wrote a letter to Secretary Mayorkas regarding credible allegations from a whistleblower with knowledge of Secret Service planning for the Butler event. The allegations include the whistleblower alleged that there was supposed to be a law enforcement presence on the roof of AGR Building 6, the roof which Thomas Crooks attempted to assassinate the former president. They alleged that at least one individual was posted to the roof of AGR Building 6 for the duration of the rally, but the post was abandoned because of the hot weather. The whistleblower further alleged that concerns over the heat prompted law enforcement to station personnel inside Building 6 rather than on patrol around the building. At the July 30th, 2024 Senate hearing, Senator Hawley directly questioned Acting Director Rowe regarding his whistleblower report. Rowe acknowledged that he heard the same report and stated that law enforcement posted up inside. He added, I think moving forward, we're going to ensure that state and local counter snipers are on the roofs. Senator Hawley continued to press for a direct answer on whether law enforcement abandoned their post on the roof, and Rowe said he did not know that to be a fact. Senator Hawley continued to press Rowe as to why he did not know. Rowe asserted, quote, we are looking at this. Now, former Director Cheadle previously testified before the House Committee on Oversight and Accountability that the roof of AGR Building 6 was not covered with an individual on it because there was overwatch provided. This answer contradicted has previously public statements that the decision not to place law enforcement on the roof of AGR Building 6 was because the roof was too, quote, sloped. Local law enforcement has disputed the whistleblower's report that law enforcement abandoned the post on the roof, stating that they were assigned to be inside the building at windows to begin with. But on August 8th, 2024, a Wall Street Journal report suggested that there was miscommunication between the Secret Service and law enforcement regarding security plans for AGR Building 6, and that the heat did factor into those decisions regarding the roof. Relatedly, on July 23rd, 2024, the commissioner of the Pennsylvania State Police, Colonel Christopher Paris, testified that the House Homeland Security Committee, that they were at least 2 law enforcement officers in the second floor window overlooking the roof of AGR Building 6. But those officers left that post to track down the shooter. The Butler County District Attorney has disputed this claim, calling it a, quote, misstatement. He asserted that only one counter sniper briefly left the building to search for crooks, but returned to his post. The Pennsylvania State Police has stated that it stands by Colonel Paris's testimony. In his July 22nd letter, Senator Hawley requested the following information. If the whistleblower's allegations are accurate, when did the individual abandon the post? Which law enforcement units were assigned to the roof? Please provide all security plans indicating which units were assigned to the roof and the building. Did any law enforcement personnel fail to report to their assigned stations that day? DHS has thus far failed to provide responsive answers to Senator Hawley's request. Another whistleblower allegation. July 25th, Secret Service declined drone coverage. On July 25th, 2024, Senator Hawley wrote a letter to Secretary Mayorkas regarding credible allegations from a whistleblower with knowledge of security planning for the Butler event. These allegations include the whistleblower alleges that the night before the rally, Secret Service personnel repeatedly denied offers from a local law enforcement partner to utilize drone technology to secure the rally. According to the whistleblower, the drones that were offered to the Secret Service could not only identify active shooters, but also help neutralize them. The whistleblower further alleged that after the shooting took place, Secret Service personnel changed course and asked the local partner to deploy the drone technology to surveil the site in the aftermath of the attack. In the aftermath. The day before Senator Hawley published these allegations, FBI Christopher Wray confirmed in his testimony before the House Judiciary Committee that Thomas Crooks used a drone to survey the site in preparation for his attack. In fact, Wray confirmed that the shooter was operating the drone approximately 2 hours before President Trump took the stage. Senator Hawley wrote that it was hard to understand why Secret Service personnel declined the drones offered to them, particularly in light of Wray's testimony. At the July 30th, 2024 Senate hearing, Senator Hawley directly questioned Acting Director Rowe regarding the whistleblower report. Rowe confirmed that there was an offer to fly a drone on that day. Senator Hawley asked why the offer was denied. Rowe replied, "I think the ability of local law enforcement to provide an asset we probably should have taken them up on if it was offered." In his July 25th letter, Senator Hawley requested all records and communications concerning the availability or use of drones at the July 13th rally. DHS has thus far failed to provide the requested records. August 1st, Counter-Surveillance Division was not present at Butler rally. On August 1st, 2024, Senator Hawley wrote a letter to Acting Director Rowe regarding credible allegations from a whistleblower. These allegations include that the Secret Service Counter-Surveillance Division, or CSD, the unit that performs threat assessment of event sites before the event occurs, did not perform its typical evaluation of the Butler site and was not present on the day of the rally. The whistleblower stated that if personnel from CSD had been present at the rally, the gunman would have been handcuffed in the parking lot after being spotted with a rangefinder. The whistleblower further alleged that Acting Director Rowe personally directed significant cuts to CSD, up to and including reducing the division's manpower by 20%. Acting Director Rowe did not mention this in his July 30th Senate testimony when asked directly to explain manpower reductions. The whistleblower also alleged retaliation against those within the Secret Service who expressed concern about the security of President Trump's events. The whistleblower claimed that following an event with the former president at a golf tournament in August of last year, Secret Service personnel's serious concern that local law enforcement used for every security were not properly trained or otherwise prepared to execute execute the tasks assigned to them, execute the task assigned to them, Further, Secret Service personnel expressed alarm that individuals were admitted to the event without vetting. The whistleblower alleged that those who raised such concerns face retaliation. In an August 2nd press conference, Acting Director Rowe was asked directly about this whistleblower report. Rowe acknowledged that he heard the report and said that the Secret Service would respond to Senator Hawley's letter. He stated that CSD personnel, when requested, go out and support former president's details, but did not say whether CSD was present at the Butler rally. When asked in a follow-up question whether he cut funding personally, Rowe stated that he did not. In his August 1st letter, Senator Hawley requested the following information. All responsive records during Rowe's time as deputy director in which policy and personnel changes were made to CSD, the Secret Service division that specifically performs advanced site threat assessments. The nature of Rowe's personal involvement in revising, updating, or otherwise changing Secret Service policies and personnel related to CSD. The number of Secret Service agents who have raised concerns about security practices within the Secret Service and are currently facing disciplinary action, as well as the nature of the concerns and the type of action, and also the breakdown of Secret Service personnel at the July 13th rally by division or unit. Another allegation surfaced August 5th. Butler rally site agent was known to lack competence. On August 5th, 2024, Senator Hawley wrote in to Acting Director Rowe regarding credible allegations from multiple whistleblowers with direct knowledge of the Butler event. These allegations include that the Secret Service lead site agent, the agent with specific responsibility for the security of the rally site, was known to lack competence and experience in the role. The whistleblower claimed that the agent was responsible for mitigating line of sight concerns at the Butler site. A separate whistleblower alleged that the lead site agent personally made decisions that likely compromised the overall security of the event. For example, campaign materials such as flags were permitted to be placed around the stage and catwalk used by the former president, despite the fact that these items were typically prohibited because of how they affected the line of sight of those agents responsible for identifying threats. The Secret Service also did not check IDs when issuing credentials that authorize access to restricted areas of the site, contrary to typical practice. Another allegation coming on August 23rd. Secret Service headquarters denied additional manpower resources. On August 23rd, 2024, Senator Hawley wrote a letter to Acting Director Rowe regarding credible allegations from a whistleblower with knowledge of Secret Service planning for the Butler event. These allegations include the lead advance agent for a trip involving protection of a specific individual typically submits a manpower request to the local field office. This normally includes the number of personnel and other security assets needed for the event and is submitted to the U.S. Secret Service Office of Protective Operations Manpower, or OPO Manpower, for final approval. The whistleblower alleged that officials within this office preemptively informed the Pittsburgh field office that the Butler rally was not going to receive additional security resources because Trump is a former president and not the incumbent president or vice president. According to the whistleblower, the manpower request did not include extra security resources because agents on the ground were told not to ask for them in the first place. Importantly, these resources included counter sniper teams and CSD personnel. When asked during the July 30th Senate hearing whether former President Trump's team had been denied resources, Acting Director Rowe stated, "If you're talking about Butler, Pennsylvania, all assets requested were approved." But according to the whistleblower, CSD personnel, counter sniper teams, and other critical security assets were not included in the manpower request for the Butler trip because Secret Service officials told the requesting agents that they would be denied. We have another allegation on September 3rd. DHS agents assigned to the Butler rally received inadequate training. On September 3rd, 2024, Senator Hawley wrote a letter to Acting Director Rowe regarding credible allegations from a whistleblower with knowledge of Secret Service preparations for protective details. These allegations include that the only training received by many HSI agents reassigned to work protective details was a single 2-hour webinar on Microsoft Teams featuring pre-recorded videos. According to the whistleblower, these videos were not substantive and their playback was frequently riddled with technical mishaps, leaving the HSI agents ill-prepared for the protective mission to which they were newly assigned. Furthermore, the whistleblower alleged that the Secret Service has not changed, updated, or otherwise improved its webinar trainings since the assassination attempt in Butler, Pennsylvania. The whistleblower further alleged that HSI agents were pulled off child exploitation cases in order to serve on protective details for which they were unprepared. Senator Hawley's letter noted previously whistleblower reports that HSI agents outnumbered Secret Service agents at the Butler rally and that HSI agents at the rally had never worked a protective detail before and did not know proper procedure. The above letters encompass the whistleblower allegations that Senator Hawley has made public thus far. In addition, Senator Hawley has received several new whistleblower allegations that have not yet been reported. These include the lead agent responsible for the entire Butler visit, including the rally, failed a key examination during their federal law enforcement training to become a Secret Service agent and was known to be a low-caliber agent. Secret Service intelligence units, teams of Secret Service agents paired with state and local law enforcement to handle reports of suspicious persons were absent from the Butler rally. Deployment of these units would have been mitigated poor communication between different law enforcement components, which has emerged as one of the core operations failures of that day. The hospital site where former President Trump received treatment after the shooting was poorly secured. The Secret Service site agent responsible for hospital security did not know what was going on and could not answer basic questions about security there. 2 months have now elapsed since former President Donald J. Trump was nearly assassinated, and the American people still know far too little about why this happened. The Secret Service, FBI, and Department of Homeland Security have not been forthcoming with the American people. Far from it. They have closed ranks, refused to confirm or deny whistleblower allegations, and resisted meaningful oversight. In fact, sources with direct knowledge of Secret Service's own internal investigation have alleged to Senator Hawley that the Department of Homeland Security is leaning on Secret Service not to comply with document requests from Congress. Instead, it has been left to courageous whistleblowers to tell the story of what really happened. They have testified to the serious security failures pervading entry level of the Butler rally operation. They have highlighted longstanding problems at these security agencies, shedding light on decadent and unserious internal cultures here. So again, this was the full whistleblower testimony report from Senator Josh Hawley, and we appreciate everyone watching along here with us, and we will not stop until we get more of these answers, and we will continue to report on Senator Josh Hawley's whistleblower report. Remember, we read it all out for you, all 22 pages, and when there are more reports, we will continue to do so. Let me know what you think on social media. I'm on X. You see it right there. Page Live Now. Would love to hear from you, and we need to get more answers into this because it seems like it is sliding from the public view, and we need more whistleblowers to come forward because it seems right now, according to Senator Josh Hawley, that HSI and other groups are being tight-lipped and telling them to not respond to requests. But because of the whistleblowers, we have documents now saying how inadequate inadequate that security was, how incompetent some of those security agents were, and we're not stopping until we find all of the answers. I'm Mike Pace with Live Now from Fox. Thanks so much for watching. Welcome back, everyone, to Live Now from Fox. I'm your host, Mike Pace, as we continue to bring you the very latest in the attempted assassinations of Donald Trump. Hard to believe that we have to say plural for attempted assassinations, but here we are, and yet again, another Secret Service whistleblower has come to Senator Josh Hawley, Republican out of Missouri. As you know, I've been covering this extensively, the whistleblowers that come to Senator Hawley, and then I bring that information to you. This time, it is different, though, because the whistleblower is talking about the second attempted assassination. So I have the details here for you. I'm going to read it out just like I read the 22-page whistleblower report for you a couple of days ago here on Live Now from Fox. And if you haven't seen that, we will link that at the back end of this video so you could see and hear all 22 pages of that in-demand whistleblower report. I'm the only one to do it on YouTube, and it's my pleasure to bring that to you and give that reporting to you all in real time right here, because not a lot of people are doing that. But here at Live Now from Fox and me, Mike Pace, you know I am doing it for you always on Live Now from Fox. All right, everyone. Here is the latest information. Again, this is a whistleblower for the second attempted assassination. It goes like this. This is from Senator Josh Hawley. He is writing to the acting Secret Service Director Rowe, saying, "My office has received new whistleblower information regarding the most recent attempt on the life of former President Donald Trump, raising troubling questions about Secret Service protocols on that day. A whistleblower with direct knowledge of Secret Service protection at former President Trump's golf course in West Palm Beach, an individual who has in fact protected President Trump at the very location, alleges that there are known vulnerabilities in the fence line surrounding the course, places that offer a clear line of sight to the former president and others playing the course. As a result, the whistleblower alleges it has been Secret Service protocol to, quote, post up agents at these vulnerable spots when Trump visits the course. That apparently did not happen on September 15th. Instead, the gunman was permitted to remain along or near the fence line for some 12 hours. It is further unclear from your recent press conference whether agents swept the perimeter of the golf course at any point or whether drones were used to surveil the fence line. The reality is that the would-be assassin should never have been able to linger around the course for that long undetected. Please answer immediately the following questions raised by these new whistleblower allegations. Number one, did Secret Service personnel post up at known vulnerabilities in the perimeter fencing? Number two, did Secret Service personnel sweep the perimeter prior to the former president's arrival on the site? Number three, did Secret Service use canine units or unmanned aircraft systems, or UASs, elements to monitor the perimeter of the golf course? How were they used? Number four, if counter-surveillance personnel were present at the golf course on September 15th, as you stated at a recent press conference, in what manner were they deployed? Why did they not detect the gunman sooner? And number five, what was the specific counter-surveillance mitigation plan for the known vulnerabilities outside the fence line that day? So again, that was from Senator Josh Hawley. Another whistleblower has come to him, and he is continuing to bring that to the public's attention. And of course, right here on Live Now from Fox, anytime I see these new whistleblower statements to Senator Josh Hawley, I bring it to you on Live Now from Fox. We are going to showcase it all to you because these attempted assassination investigations, we do not know a lot right now. It's hard to believe that the attempted assassination, number one, and number two, against the former president, Donald J. Trump, there is still so many unanswered questions, and we are going to be working very hard to get those answers to you. But you can always follow me on X. You see it right there at Page Live Now. I love to hear from the viewers. Let me know what you want to know from these whistleblower allegations, and we'll work hard to get Senator Josh Hawley on the show as well so we can really discuss some of these matters. So again, just follow me there, Page Live Now, and I'm also linking at the back end here of this video my full 22-page readout that I did of the whistleblower allegations. I'm doing it for you, the viewer, and of course, the Americans, that we need to know more answers when it comes to these attempted assassinations on Donald J. Trump. You're watching Live Now from Fox, and I'm Mike Page, and I'm always here for you.